May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, Sachin,
Yes, sir.
introduce yourself to the board.
Sir, my name is Sachin Rahar. I predominantly come from the rural part of the country, Jhunjhunu, Rajasthan.
What do you mean predominantly?
Sir, now as per the census, it might not be designated as rural, but it is a rural as per the government.
So then you are predominantly coming from rural part.
Because I lived in my village for 10, 12 years, sir.
Okay.
And then I did my schooling from a boys' boarding school, Bidla Public School, Pilani. And then I went to Metropolitan City of Delhi, Hindu College. And I have tried to utilize all the opportunities that were given to me by my school and college, such as co-curricular activities, hosting a national debate, extracurricular activities, such as winning a national gold medal in Taekwondo for Rajasthan, and other activities also, such as being the part of Hindu College Students' Union as Joint Secretary. And presently I'm preparing for UPSC. If I'm not studying, then I am dabbling into reading non-fiction books, especially on self-improvement, or I am doing acrylic painting.
Okay. You're a physically fit, physical kind of a person, and you got selected in the NDA also. Why didn't you join?
Sir, it was a show of my dedication and commitment, but unfortunately when I came back, I was diagnosed with pilonidal sinus. I had symptoms of pilonidal sinus, and then I went to the doctor, and then I had to undergo a surgery. And it took a very long period of time, and by then.
Okay. So have you read today's newspapers?
Yes, sir.
Anything there of importance?
Sir, there are multiple news. One would be that about the farmers' protest. Government gave them a new offer yesterday. Other would be, sir, US debt has risen to more than 100% of its GDP. Then other would be, sir, Netanyahu saying that we would attack Rafah border despite
why are the Rajasthan farmers not protesting and not joining these protests?
Sir, majorly because the farmers who are joining these protests are the ones who are getting benefits out of MSP scheme. So in Rajasthan, the procurement is very limited to the northern part of the state. So those two districts, they are joining the protest.
And
Hanumangarh. But rest of the farmers are not getting the benefits of MSP.
Okay. Then you've been, done this best speaker about Israel-Palestine conflict.
Yes.
So this conflict has been going on for ages, and even when you were in school,
yes,
you were talking about it.
Yes.
So what is the latest on it? What is India's current stand on the Israel-Palestine conflict?
Sir, as our foreign minister day before yesterday only at Germany, he gave 5 points.
Where was he at Germany? Why was he there?
Sir, there was a meeting, geopolitical meeting in Germany, Munich security meeting. Sir.
Munich security. Why is it called the Munich Security Conference?
Sir, I would guess that it is because of the place that it is held in Germany, Munich.
No, security conference. It was the Munich Security Conference.
Yes, sir.
So why is it a security conference?
Sir, I'm not sure of that, sir.
Okay. And so what was the stand? What did the foreign minister say?
Yes, sir. The constant stand that India always had was two-state solution. The second was that declaration of October 7th attack as terrorist attacks. The third would be that Israel should be little cautious while attacking civilians and humanitarian cause should be taken up. And last would be that there should be a humanitarian corridor which could provide relief to these Gazians.
Why is it that there are a lot of people coming in from Jhunjhunu for the civil services? I find, every year you find a large number of candidates. So is there some sort of a club there or, something going on, people motivating each other or something that...
Sir, Jhunjhunu as such has one achievement, that is it has the highest rural literacy rate.
Okay.
So because of that, a lot of people in literacy high and they want to go and join government jobs because other avenues and other opportunities are very little in the sector. So now recently we gained a lot of educated people, so now they are trying to come for civil services.
Great, fantastic.
Sachin, pleasure talking to you, and you really have a very wide range of interests. Israel-Palestine conflict also you mentioned, obviously it will attract attention to anyone following current news. But have you been watching the relations between US and Israel coming under some strain because of this conflict. Could you highlight that development?
Yes, sir. Certainly, because President Biden has been highlighting that we need a two-state solution and there is a need for humanitarian cause. But at the same time, from the Tel Aviv counterpart, Netanyahu is over and over again stating that there is only solution is the complete capture by Israel, sir.
Complete capture?
Capture.
Hamas destroyed completely by Israel. Yeah, elimination of Hamas is the only solution. And US is again and again saying that humanitarian cause should be kept at first. But the words might lack the actions because US is also vetoing every resolution against Israel. And recently also US said that the next resolution that will be passed will also be vetoed by US.
How do you see the conflict ending or a ceasefire if the aim is difficult to attain, complete elimination of Hamas? So do you see any next signs of any peace deal where Israel can be accommodated?
Sir, I would guess that a common platform must be provided to both the parties to have a communication and talk, and immediate ceasefire and the hostages should be released from both the sides. That would be the first step forward. And then certainly, sir, the elections are also due in Israel. So we'll have to see how it unfolds. But at this moment, yes, both the sides are not ready to step an inch back.
You also monitor, obviously, US elections and US politics. So right now you have this Republican, between Donald Trump is running away. So how do you see a person like Donald Trump impacting on US foreign policy? He's associated with some kind of transactional style of diplomacy. Could you explain what transactional might be?
Sir, transactional style of diplomacy would be, I would like to take an example, such as recently only he said that all the NATO members who won't be paying their due will not be protected by US. And he said that I'll also encourage Russia to attack those players. So that is one of the transactional kind of diplomacy that he follows, that if there is something that you have to, is due, you have to pay and then you have to move forward. And to the first question, seeing that, I would feel that the rise of Donald Trump or figures like Donald Trump across the world is a failure of liberal democracy to connect with the masses. So liberal democracy is not able to connect to the masses. That's why Donald Trump or far right members are rising across the world, across the globe.
So is there any lesson for India that we can also do transactional diplomacy or issue-based diplomacy? Is there a lesson or message for India?
Sir, India is currently protecting its sovereignty and it is deciding its foreign policy with every other country on case-by-case basis. And India, recently only our foreign minister said that we are following a very realistic and pragmatic stance, but at the same time we are also close to humanitarian cause. So we should not be called unemotionally transactional. And India is taking forward the stand of Global South as well. So I feel that India is one of the bright stars globally in terms of foreign policy at the present moment.
Do others feel the same? You feel, but do you think the other countries would see India as a bright star, as a welcome development, India's rise?
Yes, sir. Other countries are also certainly, because India's all the stands are being taken up by other countries also. Recently, G20 was held by India. Inclusion of African Union also happened in that. So other countries are also feeling that, and then certainly, sir, India is the largest market at present moment. So our population and economics dominate our foreign policy.
Please, sir.
Good afternoon, Sachin. Good afternoon, sir. Any alumni of your prestigious college you look up to?
Sir, in my college, sir, I look up to Mr. Vinod Rai, sir, our ex-CAG.
Vinod Rai.
He also happens to be from my school, sir.
That is the reason. Otherwise, Vinod Rai has many things which he is, his fault lines are known to most of us. So anyway, I mean you have, but tell me about any other famous alumni of your college.
Sir, we have certain alumni such as Mr. Subramaniam Swamy. He is also alumnus to our college.
Right.
And multiple actors also and politicians. Meenakshi Lekhi is also from our college. In terms of actors and in Mumbai, we have certain such as Imtiaz Ali is from my college. Gautam Gambhir is from my college.
Agreed. Now tell me, students in active politics. You've been the student union leader. Now it is the common perception that they are doing more harm to the system of education, because Delhi colleges, whether it's Delhi University, Jamia Millia, and JNU, what is the reason? Why is it only the freedom of speech that encourages them and makes them what they are, or there is some other force working behind it?
Sir, as I was part of the student politics in my college, I think it is very necessary to have the wholesome development of students in college. But certainly there are certain areas that needs to be addressed, and there is a need to clean the student politics as well. There is involvement of outsiders in the student politics that should be removed completely. There is also involvement of money and muscle power in student politics also, such as in Delhi University.
But all the association, all the your unions are associated with one party or the other, whether it is ABVP, NSO or whatever. So how can you remove the money and muscle power? When politics has money and muscle power, it will come to the student union also.
Sir, it was suggested by Supreme Court also that there should be removal of every outsider in the college elections, and it is the onus of college administration to do so. And
how about Lingdo committee recommendations? Are you aware of those?
Yes, sir.
So are they, the universities and the union, do they stick to that?
Sir, because I have an experience, I feel that they are not following the recommendations of Lingdo committee.
So what they are only on paper. He was a great man, he worked out so much and came out with some, anyway. Now please tell me that Suryodaya, one scheme which the Prime Minister the Finance Minister talked about, and what is the idea behind it? How will it help energy conservation and energy creation?
Sir, it is rooftop solar energy. That scheme.
How many crore of people are going to be benefited by this?
Sir, I am not sure, sir.
3 crore people are expected to be benefited who will not get any electricity bills. That is the idea.
Yes. And by implementing net metering along with the scheme, they will also be benefited
by selling the energy if they have spare. And there is a solar train from Kerala to Delhi being talked about. Are you aware of that?
Sir, I am not aware of that, sir.
All right. Some private players in India, corporate houses, which are helping Indian government manufacture certain major weapon systems and equipment for the armed forces. Name them.
Sir, one would be HAL, Hindustan.
HAL, I am talking of private player.
Okay, sir. Other would be, sir, Reliance.
What is the Reliance doing?
Sir, exact, I'm not sure.
Okay, who else?
Adani is also helping.
What is Adani doing?
Sir, I'm not sure of the exact.
Don't get irritated if you know. But if you know Ambani and Adani and who else?
And sir, then there would be certain shipping corporations.
Shipping corporation is, I am talking of private players.
Sir, they are helping in building the.
I said, who are the other private players which are cooperating or helping the Indian defense industry?
Sir, from India, I'm aware of these two. From outside, it could.
No, I'm talking of Indian, Mahindras, Tatas.
Sir, I'm not aware of that, sir.
That's many more. Anyway, and self-improvement books. What self-improvement book have you read recently?
Sir, recently I was reading Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday.
Acha. Any Indian author you read?
Sir, Indian authors I read,
Robin
sir.
Sharma.
Robin Sharma, sir, I read.
Acha. What is the lesson in that? What does it talk about? ultimately after reading, when you close the book and think about it, okay, what have I learnt? What is the life lesson learned from there?
Sir, from the ego is the enemy, the lesson that
No, now I'm Robin Sharma, I'm talking of.
the lesson that I learned was that happiness comes from within. It does not come from materialistic things. So I could be very happy by owning other things, maybe real estate or buildings, but happiness comes from within. And I would extend that to my own understanding would be that happiness comes from us and our relations with the people, immediate people that we have, like a family, friends.
Money gives you happiness or no?
Sir, in the present times, if we see, sir, definitely it does. But then again, sir, it is dependent upon the individual if he is able to draw that happiness out of it. Because sometimes a lot of rich, wealthy people are also facing crisis of depression and unhappiness.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Sachin, there's a famous saying that money has not seen a dustbin. Okay.
Yes.
So, well, you're talking about solar, right? Which is the first solar powered airport of the world?
Ma'am, it would be Kerala's airport, ma'am.
Yeah, good, good. Which one?
Cochin Airport.
Cochin International. Yes, very nice. Okay, where does the name Jhunjhunu come from?
Ma'am, it comes from a Jat commander, Jhunjar Singh. He fought against the Kyamkhani Muslims and established the rule of from the descendants of Shekha Singh.
Okay.
And then he was betrayed by the same people and then he was killed. And then it became a folklore around the city. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, a lot of people can get a lot of ideas from the name, no? Okay, all right. Now you're from Rajasthan, and it's a state of minerals. Lots of top producer of some, and different kind of stones also. So can you tell me about some of the minerals and the stones?
Ma'am, Rajasthan has monopoly in certain minerals.
Yeah.
Zinc, tungsten, wolfenite. And then there are certain minerals which it produces in large quantity. One would be in Jhunjhunu, Khetri, copper is being produced in large quantity. And other, ma'am, recently we have also found oil fields in Rajasthan in Badmer district. And then limestone, which is one of the largest player in limestone, Chhattisgarh, the belt west to Jaipur, that belt. And sandstone, most temples has sandstones which are delivered from Rajasthan itself.
Then Kota stone, marble, granite, all of these, right? Yes. Now, is there a problem of illegal mining of any kind?
It is, ma'am. There is a huge problem of illegal mining, ma'am, and encroachment as well.
Okay, so so what are the ills of illegal mining?
Ma'am, first would be in terms of economics, there is a demand and supply gap. That is why there is an illegal mining. They want to plug the supply gap, so there are illegally taking up. The second would be there is a nexus between goons and people who are mining these things. And third would be, ma'am, unawareness amongst the common masses, so these things don't get reported in the police. And then, ma'am, lackadaisical approach by administration could also be.
And what about the climate and what about the environment? What happens, as a result of illegal mining?
Illegal mining would lead.
Because that means you're going beyond, the limit set by the government, right?
Yes, ma'am. So first, ma'am, it would affect the water table in the area and also pollute the groundwater. And as most of the state is dependent upon agriculture as its source, it's a huge problem. Second would be health issues are also, because water table is disturbed, health issues can also be faced. Rajasthan has high fluoride also and uranium also. So these are the few causes. Then it impacts the crops and wildlife in the region. And then Rajasthan, it doesn't have that many rivers, the permanent river water. So encroachment also impacts the river trajectory and river water.
Desertification, soil erosion, all of these. Now, what is being done about it?
Ma'am, it would. Yes, ma'am. The media reports claim that there is a nexus between politicians and people who are involved in illegal mining also. So that could be one of the reasons.
So it's a big problem, you know. Your Rajasthan newspapers are full of it every now and then. So what is being done? I mean, what can be done?
Ma'am, what can be done is first would be to clear the backlog of all the applications for mining. So there is a plugging of gap between demand and supply. So if there won't be excess demand for these things, then illegal mining would be destroyed automatically. Second would be, ma'am, awareness generation among the masses who are there, who could report these things and who themselves don't engage in that. Because these are massive, large operations that are happening in the state. So if masses are aware of these things, then they won't be there. And then strict implementation of laws.
And what about using some alternates to these, whatever is being illegally mined? Could there be any? Think about it. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Sachin, very good evening. So I'll be focusing certain questions on internal security and border. Post Article 370 abolition, in the very recent periods, there is increased certain activities of terrorism again. What can be the reason in Jammu and Kashmir?
Sir, the reason would be these activities are rising in the Pulwama region presently. So these are because historically that region has been engaged by Pakistan and involvement of non-state actors and state actors. That is one of the reasons. And second would be, sir, other than that region, the entire Jammu and Kashmir is facing peaceful times in comparison to previous times. The stone pelting has also come down. The civilian deaths have come down. The attack on army has also come down significantly. So it is only one particular region which is closer to Pakistan that is having these issues presently.
Okay. So, and the Supreme Court has made certain observations with respect to Article 370. Can you brief on it?
Sir, Supreme Court first is that said that the amendment which was done by the Parliament was right and under the Constitution. Second, sir, Supreme Court did not put a deadline, but Supreme Court asked the centre to implement their promise of converting UT into a state and conduct elections.
So what is happening with respect to India-Myanmar border immigration? What is India's stand? Latest Amit Shah's stand?
Sir, India wants to remove the free movement regime, FMR regime that is there, and currently Myanmar again has included the permanent commission inside the army by youth. So there is a fleeing of youth from the Myanmar. So India could face the influx of those people. So India wants to convert the entire border, fence the entire border. Then there is also issue of drug trade and also inciting violence inside India through Myanmar border. The extremists go and hide behind the Myanmar borders and then come and incite.
Okay. So what do those border state governments stand?
Sir, border state governments, first would be Manipur state government is in lines with the center, but there are two states, Nagaland and Mizoram, where the state governments are opposing that because there is permanent affinity towards the tribals who are living across both the sides. Other state governments are in lines with the central government stand.
Okay. So with respect to national security, how do information be a problem or source of national security?
Sir, information could be, I would take the example of Stuxnet, the virus that Israel inflicted in Iran. So presently, because information travels without borders, so it's traveling and it's the spreading of information to non-state actors could be a problem. And then right before Stuxnet, there was also a leak by US government's National Security Advisor Committee, and all the viruses that were prepared by the government leaked to the non-state actors. So then there are ransomware, and recently we had seen an attack in AIIMS also, where AIIMS computers were attacked and they were locked. So we are seeing those kind of attacks.
Okay. So, with respect to budget, what is the government stand or latest budget stand on FRPM? Statement on FRPM?
Yes, sir. Sir, government, our total budget is, sir, 47 lakh crore, and our fiscal deficit presently is 5.8%, and we are aiming for 5.1% in this year, and then 4.5%. So the government has taken the liberty of using the escape clause, and it has said that the only target that stands is of fiscal deficit, and it has declared the targets for fiscal deficit itself. So these are the targets. So government currently is not following the exact targets of FRBM Act, but they have taken the liberty of escape clause.
So, what opportunities you see that the government can utilize to reduce this fiscal deficit?
Sir, presently government will need to reduce its borrowings, in the sense that interest payments, 20% of government expenditure is going to interest payments. Then government has to regulate its subsidy bill. Subsidy bill includes the free ration that government is providing, and also fertilizer subsidy. So these are subsidies that government need to reduce. At the same time, government is implementing capital expenditure, CapEx. This time it has increased to 1.11 lakh crore. So that 11.11 lakh crore. So that CapEx would be utilized in future, because that would generate a lot of investment inside India. And then government has shown a picture of FDIs also rising, and totaling in the last 10 years around 600 lakh crore. So FDIs are also rising, $600 billion. FDIs are also rising, investment is happening. So government can reduce this by involvement of private sector, at the same time rationalizing its subsidies and reducing its interest payments.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.